But
right.
it's like, I sing in a Realtor funk band, right? And I think the same way.
Realtor
He's
funk
the best. I love it.
So when I go up and sing in front of 50, 100 people, whatever it is, a party, 200 people, I think the same way. It's like, I'm not going to be self-conscious that I sound good or whatever, but I'm here and I set my mindset before I even go that I also make people happy today.
Yeah.
I want to sing some songs that will say, brother, there's too many of you dying.
Nice.
There has never been a day since
we've
he's
got
here.
to find a way.
There has never been a day that I have not crossed paths with Ed and put a gigantic smile on my face. This is life with Ed at Keller Street.
Oh, that's awesome.
Really, it's like you cannot.
You guys should be
not
paying
smile.
him.
No,
I
just like you, Danielle, and I like everything you're.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and I know, I see a side of you that's a really delicate woman. That's a beautiful, delicate, feminine part. But I see you have like this big boulder rock that you can throw it, and you're strong.
Yeah, there's like a
there's
like a freaky.
Do you see that, Phil?
Yeah.
So listen to this, Ed. Yesterday, I
the lioness.
I text Phil. I don't know why I felt compelled to text.
Oh, you're going to go
like
there.
6:30 in the morning,
right,
and
right,
I'm
right.
like, I send him a text, and it says, actually, I should just pull this text thread up because it's priceless. I asked him,
was it scary, Phil?
Oh no, it was great.
I was. Wait, where is it? I don't want to spend too much time looking for it, but look at
oh my
these
God, we're totally
text
hung up on
threads I have. Okay, here comes Phil. Let me
If your
scroll
phone
past
could
like
talk.
the 72 gifts. So I say to him, it's like, it's 7:30. I said, do you think I'm intimidating to men? And he writes back, maybe a little. With 2 exclamation marks.
Yeah, I doubled it.
And then he says, I love how he goes like, your emojis are redonkulous.
Oh, okay.
You may be a handful to a guy who didn't carry a lot of confidence, is what he says to me.
Yeah, I think that's
Good
fair.
comment, Phil.
And I did,
Yeah.
but more specifically, like this shocked me because I feel like it's so easy for me to connect to people. And I'm not a bully, or I shouldn't say bully, but I'm not somebody who likes to push people around or manipulate their feelings toward me always.
Right.
But I was like, wow, I never would have considered myself intimidating.
Well, you're big. I mean, you're not big, but you're big.
Big personality.
Big personality.
I mean, I'm very confident in like what I like, what's important to me, what I can tolerate, and I'm not shy about expressing, those opinions. I try to do it respectfully, but I don't know. It was like this, oh man.
Well, the right kind of man is going to say, Danielle, right now you're intimidating, so stop it.
Right.
And you'll say,
where does that
you in your
right
fucking
kind of man
place.
hang out, actually?
probably
Where you're not.
He's probably working out in the gym right now.
No.
He's a big, huge muscle dude.
I mean,
Kind of looks like Phil.
Or doing big business, not giving a shit what anybody thinks, right? That's the magic.
But see, that doesn't
like
appeal
Phil
to me,
said,
not
come be
caring what
confident.
anybody thinks.
Right.
I don't know that that's appealing, not caring what anybody thinks. I very much care what everybody thinks, sometimes
Well, I think
too
what
much.
Phil
but-
means,
Well,
I think
right.
what
Yeah,
Phil
I don't
means
mean
is
not care, but-
he's grounded in who he is.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't like flutter because somebody said something.
Yeah.
He's a confident guy.
Right.
All right. So,
Follow
if
in
you
their
have
path.
any sort of input about where I might meet that person,
Okay.
let me know.
Well, we just put it out in the universe.
Oh, that's
nice.
a good, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, universe. We're speaking.
And plus, if you don't know what
yeah.
you want, you're not going to find it.
There you go.
I'm very clear about what I want. Unfortunately, probably a little too clear. Like I do.
Oh, yeah.
There's,
that could be a problem.
like I have to.
Do I even need to glass it?
So, Ed, I have noticed, because you're so pleasant to have around here, that in the last month or so, this week excluded, because I think I've seen you quite a bit this week, you've been less than obvious around the office. And I wonder, was that because of the holidays? Was it because you're so busy selling real estate that you're out in the field? What's going on?
I was out in the field more.
Yeah.
I have a couple people I'm helping prep their house to sell, and appointments and looking at properties. And Yeah. How many last?
You're busy.
Yeah,
I
what are you
think,
talking about?
kind of coming in from the holidays, and it's hard to gauge because, everybody does the holiday breaks a little bit differently, right? Some people are pretty busy like me, for example. I worked all through the holidays, but then January came and I was like, peace out, I'm off to Mexico.
Yeah.
For a bit.
You were
some
burnt
days,
to a crisp.
Some days it takes a lot
out.
of driving and searching properties. And I go as far as, I go out the Guerneville River sometime or out to Sebastopol or up the mountain.
I can totally
Penrose
not
Mountains.
see you connecting with the West County people. I know. I'm kidding.
What? I was like, what? Didn't we just have an hour of conversation connecting with
I know.
those people? I hate saying those people because it sounds very strange. Was that a good
Yeah, it's good enough.
stopping point?
So
anyway,
so we at Keller Co-work have a diverse group of people, and this is making me want to listen to the podcast to see
I
who's
cannot
next.
believe
have
you
you-
haven't. Well,
have
you
you heard
have to
anything?
listen to last week too because your daughter was here and
She was fantastic.
very
She's
good,
wonderful.
too.
What
Yeah.
a great daughter you have.
How does it feel working in the same office with Joyna?
I love it.
She's such a
Oh,
good
she's
human.
my princess.
Man, I
really
can't
is.
imagine. My oldest is 8, but that would be like a dream to get to work with your child.
Yeah.
Gosh.
That is not even remotely a dream of mine.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Oh.
You know why? Because I worked with my parents. I worked very closely with my mother.
Well, yeah.
And it
were
felt like
kinda-
there was another.
Well, you were the family bookkeeper at 13. I mean,
it's true that I did have a unique entry into the business world, but it felt hard to work. And as a young person, to your point, like being 13 and being, it's very hard even in general to transition from work mode to family mode, especially if you're working with somebody, right? And then throw into account that I was 12. So I didn't know how to transition. So it was very hard for me to work with my mother. I didn't understand how to switch from the working relationship to the mother-daughter relationship.
well, it gets messy,
Yeah, and at a young age, you shouldn't really have to be dealing with messy, I think, at this point. So I think
You were
I just
12,
have this.
grow up.
I have this idea in my head that just if anything could make my relationship with my daughter worse, it would be us working together.
Yeah. I had one of my sons started working with me about 3 years ago, and he didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I don't like waiting for a paycheck like real estate. I want a weekly paycheck.
Oh,
Right.
So he,
but that was more to do with the real estate than it was to do with you, right?
yeah.
It's a budgeting thing,
What
too.
is, so
7
tell us
children.
a little bit about what real estate looks like in Sonoma County right now.
Yeah, what are we doing?
Well, right now there is a cooling off. of
Flat
pricing.
spot?
Yeah, but it's not like, as the Robert Eilers, the economic professor at SSU, gave a big seminar Tuesday. And he made a really good point that people, as soon as they hear price dropping, people think recession, like last time, because that's what's in our memory bank. But we're not. Our economy is strong. We're in a very good economy. Our unemployment rate is great in Sonoma County. And we're in a
less than 3%.
little bit of a cooling off.
We're under
like
3 now.
Yeah,
Oof.
kind of a correction.
Well,
And
also,
the fires kind of
you got the
did
fires.
a thing. So we're in a nicer balance where a person buying a home doesn't have to like compete with like 10 offers and 6 offers.
Oh.
I know, it was crazy
You
for
can
a
shop
while,
around
right?
a bit. You can take your time and look at
Okay.
it. And
That's
if it's a really desirable property, then there may be 2 or 3 offers. So that stuff happens. But I think the biggest issue right now is everybody has to price right because the graph was going up,
Right,
up,
right.
up. And if you think you're going to play that, you're Mr. Homeowner, you're wrong.
And there's got to be kind of a seasonal aspect to it too, right? I mean, school does the school year have anything to do with it, or
Well, Phil, there's always a bell curve of sales. Summertime sales are up here.
Gotcha.
Realtors make more money in the summer.
All right.
There's more sales going on. So, but some people have their best months in winter months because a lot of realtors take off and just keep working.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But overall, it's a pretty healthy real estate economy. They say there's a shortage of homes, which there is.
Yeah.
But if you're diligent and you're determined, you may have to search for 3-6 months
Yeah.
to find a home, 9 months maybe. I've searched for a year with people before.
Right.
I got people in my buying database that have been searching for several years, just waiting for the right place.
Right.
Right.
And you just got to keep feeding them stuff. And real estate is not for the weak of heart. I mean, to be a realtor, you have
You
to.
can't really be fickle, can you?
No, you got to have a lot of irons in the fire at the
You know,
same
it's
time.
interesting. You also, another thing you were telling me once about how easy it is to get a real estate license, but how difficult it is to be a good realtor, right? You know, like the license part is not the challenge. It's like, you know, learning all the stuff that goes behind that.
But I would imagine
probably many years.
Kind of time shakes out a lot of those people too, right?
Right, Phil. I think they say 30% of licensees quit in a year.
No.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's staggering. Interesting. I do have this imagined idea that people go into to get their real estate license because they think it's going to be an easy way to make money. Like, it seems to be real estate is the one thing that I hear a lot of people like, oh, I'm just going to get my real estate license. And I'm, in my head, I never imagined real estate to be easy.
I know, my God.
But it seems like a lot of people are like, oh, this is a great way to make good money, so I'm just going to do it, and not really put a lot of thought behind it, and how they're going to build it as a business, for example.
Well, that
right?
might go back to your point of it. Getting the license is easy, you know, and I know somebody who's a realtor and they do well, and if I can get a license and, you know, relatively quickly and inexpensively,
I'll get those.
It must be easy,
10,
you know?
$15,000, $20,000 commission checks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
but
Good luck with that.
Yeah, there's a lot goes into it.
Right.
And everybody runs real estate a different way. Some people are all into the money part, and
Right.
make
Just
a lot of
turning
money.
just turning it.
And I've seen them, you know, go heavily into drinking and unhealthy habits and look like they're 30 years older than they are. Everybody has a way to do it. But I think the best way is to want to, like I said before, because you want to be good at what you do and be of service to people, be useful.
Right.
And there's a lot of things you can learn in real estate. There's always a lot of obstacles, and you can't get burned, you know, bent out of shape because something crashes.
Right.
And think about, oh fuck, I would have made $20,000. I just had a guy wanted to buy a shopping center for $2.7 million, and I got outbid. But so what?
Right.
Yeah.
It would have been a $50,000 commission, but so what?
Right.
You know,
right.
you go on to the next thing.
Did you really say so what?
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah. So what?
I might not be that big a person.
Oh, you're
don't know.
pretty
You
big.
never-
You can't think about it. You can't.
Yeah, what
I
could
mean,
have
if you
been.
do think about the money and
Oh,
you
you
want
go
to get
crazy.
you can get in that trap.
This is a hashtagable moment. You cannot think about what could have been, right? For me, in the sense, like in every topic of my life, right? How much time do I spend thinking, oh, if it could have been this, or, oh, this happens a lot actually in my non-dating life.
Oh.
No, and
Like,
within
oh,
your
if only. And that
If
is
only.
such a, like a trap. That's definitely a mindfuck trap to get into
Yeah.
that.
yeah,
For sure.
It's like living now, not what could be in the future,
Right.
like what that or the past. What if that would have happened? It's gone.
Right.
Well, you want to know what could be at Keller Street?
What could be?
What?
It could be awesome for everybody who comes here. It is awesome for everybody that comes in
Yeah.
here. I have to say this to Phil. This is completely off topic, but I've been stringing him along for months and months
It's
and
been
months
driving me
about
crazy.
the changes that are
I have
happening
no
here.
clue what's
And I've been
going
like
on.
teasing it out, and I'm like, oh, but we'll talk about it next week.
You know what we should do?
We never do.
We should split off and do a separate thing on it.
You think
Oh, yeah.
on what's happening here at Keller
Oh,
Street?
yeah.
We're growing. I will. I think
mean, we
that's
can
a great
do this.
idea.
We can do this now, but also break off with a little 20-minute.
Yeah, we might need
You
to
wanna
do
do
that.
it today?
What are we looking at for 2019?
For
I think you've expired
2019.
my story. So
No, oh my
Oh,
gosh, are you
gosh.
kidding
So
me?
you can go ahead if you want me to.
Are you crazy? Are you nuts?
Okay, that's awkward.
Come on.
Right there.
Having you in the room while we announce our big changes.
No, what are the changes? I saw construction going on. I saw a
we
chroma key.
alluded to it a little bit, right?
So the chroma key,
construction.
was that behind the white panel?
That was behind the white panel. So we had when we first opened, we had a literal green screen for video, right? And so back in the day, all those big photography coves were green, right? Still in the newsrooms and stuff, that's what you see. So we had painted over that white, and then we've existed now for how many months have we been here? Like 8 or 9 months.
Right.
So what we've just done is we've taken that whole screen down. We've opened up that entire studio. We're opening up some skylights in there.
Are you going to put an ice rink in there? It's huge. It's a huge
It's so
space.
big. It does look like it should be an ice rink. We're putting in semi-private offices in there, which is such a big step for us. And I'm not going to lie, it was a little emotional for me because that space was like kind of our creative. I mean, the whole place is
Like
very creative,
studio.
but